All right, the good road trip continues for the Padres. Another win tonight in Pittsburgh. They're back at 500. The Padres 5-5 overall, and we're here to react to it. This is the Padres Collective presented by Prize Picks. Jon Schaeffer, Matt Devine, Kevin Acee's in Pittsburgh, where the clock will strike midnight within the next 20 minutes or so. And as Kevin and Matt know, and I do as well, what a difference a day or two can make over the course of a Major League Baseball season. From 2-5 to 5-5 feels completely different. And we'll start with tonight, guys. And Kevin, you were on site, but this is one of those games that for me, it's like the difference sometimes between a good team and a bad team is just like fundamental baseball. You know, Pittsburgh running into outs there in the second inning, Padres taking advantage. Obviously, German Marquez was terrific in this game in general. The Padres bullpen has been great as well. It seems like the offense has been better here the last couple of days. So just a sound win, I would say. That's what it looked like watching on television. And the good road trip continues. We'll see what they can do against Paul Skeens tomorrow.
Yeah, look, I'd heard how great the Pirates were playing, right? They do. They've got really good young pitchers. That pitcher tonight, Padres did a really good job against him. I heard about all these guys they brought in, and I think that's great. I really do. But they look exactly like the team that I've watched the Padres beat now 12 out of the last 13 times and 7 times in a row here in Pittsburgh. They threw to the wrong base. It was really, I think, their third base coach, perhaps his fault. What was the other one? Brian Reynolds overran Jackson Merrill's double. Hey, you're right, man. That's the thing. And that's the thing the Padres have done really well these last 2 90-win seasons is beat teams like this.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And it's very interesting. So, John, you mentioned it earlier, 2-5 going and we're playing the Red Sox. We lose that game with Michael King on the bump and the vibes were pretty low. I texted our little group chat with John and Kevin. I said, panic meter 7.5. I won't lie. I was losing some faith. Boys rattle off 3 straight. Our friends in Boston, they lose 3 straight. They're 2-8 now, and they're looking up at a very difficult, kind of comeback when it comes to getting their name back in the playoff picture. Our friends in Boston are not happy. That could have easily been the Pods. We could have been having an episode right now at 2-8, but the fellas came through. We had some great pitching performances from the bullpen, starting pitching. Got to give a shout out to my man, Manny Machado. I could be hard on him sometimes. He leads the team in OPS right now. He's had a really good little run here lately. Gavin Sheets has been showing up. I've been very impressed with the team the last few games.
Yeah, I mean, I would say this as well. German Marquez, when you think about Buehler Marquez, you're like, hey, can someone emerge, just give them a turn in the rotation where they, you don't have to worry about it for another 5 days. You don't have to be thinking about it, what comes next on the other side. I know Marquez was interesting. He's really pitched well against Pittsburgh in his career. Incredible. Yeah, I mean, he's pitched incredible, I think, as well as anyone in the major leagues right now against the Pittsburgh Pirates. And, he was good. Again, I thought that he benefited, and correct me if I'm wrong, Kevin, I thought that he benefited from Pittsburgh's miscues, specifically in that second inning, right? There's a base hit to right. The ball caroms into shallow right field that easily should score a run. And that might have cost him 2+ runs. They don't get that lead runner, and there's the additional out. And then German Marquez gets out of it. But other than that, I mean, he earned it. The 6 shutout innings, he basically earned. I thought Pittsburgh probably ran into, again, an out or two in there, but he pitched well, obviously.
I thought it was interesting. I think he reached back into hey, I was an ace for a long time, right? Like, I've been throwing 7 shutout in Coors Field. That's still me. Like, if he believes it, fine. And it looks like that's what he did. And that's why you kind of got to like a veteran pitcher as your number 5 guy who can battle like that. They needed it tonight. They got 2 innings apiece from Morgan and Marinaccio. That was huge. Half their bullpen was down tonight, man. I am never going to discourage you, Matt Devine, because I think one of the highs of, it might not feel like a high all the time, but I think one of the highs of being a fan is panicking. That's what makes the being exultant feel so good, right? So I'm never going to, but I don't think I responded to the panic meter thing, because not that I knew the Padres were going to win 3 in a row. This is exactly what Jon said, man. Like, I knew we were not going to, whatever. I knew at some point it was going to be like, they're going to be okay. And their bats are better. They have chased starters, maybe not with a lot of runs, but I'm telling you, like, I put stock when people say they're going to do something, or they say, hey, we're doing this, and you're going to see. And that's what we're seeing right now is the Padres are doing what they said they were going to do offensively.
It's been fun to watch. It's funny how it seems like the last year or so, team goes on these road trips and gets hot, right? And then it happened last year. Seems like it's happening again. I am not complaining one bit. We said on, I think, the season preview episode, John, I think you asked us, Kevin and Matt, would you be fine with a 6-6 start? I'm pretty sure you said that coming back to Colorado, or it might have been Kevin who asked that. And I said yes. And I'm still fine with that. We got Paul Skeens tomorrow and Mitch Keller on Wednesday. If we could take one of those games and we get back at home Thursday night, City Connect night against Colorado, I'm a happy camper, man. What I'm seeing right now is the team in LA is, taking care of business, right? We're probably not going to win the West. Let's just be honest. I think we could have told you that 2 weeks ago. We'll be able to tell you that now. That being said, this is a playoff team. This is what we're trying to be. We're trying to be a playoff team. And if you could just hang around 500, new owners coming in a couple weeks, I feel like the vibes are going to pick up a little bit. And, I'm excited. I'm very proud of the answer. Because like I said, I follow a lot of people from Boston. They are not happy right now. They're 2-8. It's a completely different story being 5-5 and 2-8. It just really is. And that easily could have happened to the Padres. We had some big players make some big plays the last few nights. Shout out Herman for a great start tonight. Tomorrow we got Nicky P on the bump. It should be great.
Let's reset for 1 second, guys. If you're here for a first time or maybe you haven't subscribed as of yet, we do have year-round coverage for you, weekly Padres content in season, out of season. So please subscribe if you have not yet done that. Smash the like button for us. And also, we appreciate the super chats. The first one is rolled in. We'll get to those later in the show. You can see on today's show, we'll get to that towards the end of the show. But thank you, Paulie, for the first super of the night. And click the $ below the chat box if you want to see your comment on screen, if you want us to react to one of your questions here tonight. Can I make just this general point, by the way? And we can spend a few minutes on this game, or we can move towards the Red Sox series as well. You got a Pittsburgh team, as Kevin said, they haven't played the Padres well, obviously. I mean, they haven't played well in general, but they had won, 6 of 7 coming in. And I know look, Kevin looks like he's a meteorologist in Pittsburgh. I know the weather there has been awful. And I know tomorrow it's supposed to be maybe even worse in terms of a high temperature of 40 degrees, if that. But I'll tell you what, when I throw on a game and they got the top prospect in baseball and they got Paul Skeens in this team and there is no one in the building. They've won 6 of 7. I get it. It's cold. It's Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. School's in session. It's not San Diego. They haven't won anything in 35 years, more than that. But Lord, can you imagine? Imagine if the Padres were 6-3, had won 6 of 7, and were coming home and playing the Pirates and playing in front of 9,400 people. It's so crazy what a difference a venue can make. And Pittsburgh will draw. I'm sure once they get into the summer, or if they put together a decent team, they'll draw better than this. But just to create your own energy in something like this, that's not the easiest thing in the world either, I would imagine.
Matt, you take it, because I sit in the heated press box. We like to have the windows open, but not on a night like this, and certainly not tomorrow. I never, ever, ever I agree with what Jon said. I absolutely thought the same thing tonight, but I never, ever tell people that pay for their tickets or have to pay for their tickets what they should do. You talk, Matt.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting, right? Because I have only lived in California my entire life. So these, when a game's 40 degrees in Pittsburgh on a Monday night, I could say from California, like you said, Kevin, right? You said heated box. When I know that our April games in San Diego, I might need a sweatshirt. That's the only thing I might. It's a little different. I think the Pirates are an interesting study, right? You have a bunch of young talent coming up to a team that sucked pretty much my entire life, to be completely transparent. I'm turning 30 this year. They've sucked my entire life. They've had a year or two here and there with McCutchen in mid 2010s, but that's about it. So Connor Griffin's debut, they've won 5 straight. Seeing that crowd today was a little shocking, to be completely honest. I know there was a rain delay. I was expecting it to be a little bit more lively, especially when you have a team like the Pirates where Tatis is a draw, Manny's a draw still. It's not the White Sox coming to town. So I was a little surprised.
They announced 8,400, by the way. I just looked at that and realized they announced 8,400.
1,000 of them were wearing Padres